coming up on ATV News.
We've been told we get a play, and so we're going to go.
Football is back. More from Coach Anderson and plans to keep fans safe.
We've had semi-accidents, but not back-to-back like this.
Small town fire crews could handle these crashes. We'll tell you what they were hauling that made cleanup so tough.
I'm hoping to smash and just have a great time.
Got $200? You could be a race car driver.
And weather, I'll tell you how long you can keep smelling the roses.
In sports, we will tell you who won this week's battle in Cat Valley.
All that and more, this is ATV News.
You could see touchdown passes and runs like this return to Maverick Stadium. Welcome to this edition of ATV News. I'm Nathaniel Gillis.
And I'm Robinson Miles.
The Mountain West Conference approved plans to resume football after virus risks postponed them. Lisa Feinstein is live at Maverick Stadium to tell us USU's plan for the season.
Yeah, Nathaniel, games start back up on October 24th. And fans say that it's a feeling of excitement, but coaches say it's a feeling of urgency.
Game night sounds haven't filled Maverick Stadium since January, but the pads are back on and coaches say they feel the hype.
Well, obviously the kids are extremely excited. We're all excited as coaches, so I'm sure Aggie Nation is excited.
Players have been practicing, but because of COVID-19, the team doesn't know what the season holds.
It's going to be interesting as we go through time here and see exactly how it all filters out. But the bottom line is these young men are going to have the opportunity to be able to compete.
Click by click, Herd marketing director Taylor Sampson edits game footage for social media.
The football feels, you know. I'm just excited. I remember when I heard the news, I literally started bawling because I was like, oh my gosh, it's finally happening.
Sampson says the Herd is gearing up.
We're really excited because it actually gives us something to do because we keep trying to do events, but they keep getting canceled because COVID restrictions.
The Herd says crowds will have to comply to COVID restrictions.
We want to have fun. We want to do stuff still. It's a two-way street kind of a thing. Students need to know, but also we're enforcing it, so that's our main concern.
Athletics is allowing a limited number of fans because of social distancing. They say they'll come out with an announcement soon for ticket information for this season. For now, reporting live from the Maverick Stadium, Lisa Feinstein, ATV News.
Thanks, Lisa.
The daily case count for COVID-19 continues to rise. Today in Cache County, 23 new cases are confirmed. And in Utah, the total case count increased by 906. The total number of cases nationwide went up 43,470.
Students in the LLC are still dealing with the aftermath of last week's COVID outbreak. But how are those in quarantine getting food?
Filling bags full of water bottles, USU Catering has their hands full of quarantine meals.
It keeps us busy, definitely. We are out of juice.
Running low on supplies and trash piling up, Taylor wants students to know catering is doing its best.
Delivering 300 meals all at once is hard, so if we're late, I'm sorry.
The quarantine meals consist of a water bottle, a bag of chips, a brownie, and an entree. Some students get to go in and out of the LLC as they please, but for others who are quarantined in their buildings, freedom is something they look forward to.
Once I get out, I'm pretty excited to be able to go get, food for myself.
Stuck on the third floor, Schwaller says quarantine isn't all unpleasant.
All in all, if you get along with your roommates, then it's not too bad.
Leaving work, USU's crisis communications director says the university is doing all they can do to accommodate to students isolated.
We've had students who said, I need to pick up a prescription and I can't go in person. Then we find a way to get it to them.
Of the more than 400 residents living in the LLC, 46 have tested positive and were relocated until they are clear of the virus. Transporting food through the LLC, this catering staffer says she gets positive reactions when residents get their meals.
We'll see people in the hallway and they'll tell us thank you, for delivering all the meals.
Duncan gathers with catering staff to disperse. She enjoys doing her part during the dorm outbreak.
It's always worth it to know that we're helping these people out who are quarantined.
Eric Price, ATV News.
Doritos says if you live in the LLC and aren't quarantined, make sure you wear a mask, stay socially distanced, and stay home if you feel any symptoms.
COVID restrictions have been affecting all of us, but those in the high-risk category are getting locked down. Sam Walker shows us what their safety looks like.
The sprinklers might still be running, but patients in assisted living centers like Maple Springs are spending more time inside due to COVID-19.
If you think about it, they're just stuck in a little apartment room.
Their families put flowers and bird feeders outside their windows to give them something to look at. According to the CDC, people in their 60s and 70s are in the high-risk category and more likely to be affected by COVID-19.
It still is real, and the people that it affects are the elderly.
The only people allowed inside Maple Springs, like other assisted living centers, are residents, staff, and medical personnel.
Family members of the patients cannot go inside the building, but they can schedule a meeting ahead of time with the main office to meet with their loved ones. This way, they come and they can stand outside the window of their loved one and see them and then talk to them on their cell phones.
Hey, Granny. Hi, Luke. How are you? Good. How are you?
A lot of them do have Apple products, and they FaceTime their families.
The seniors can interact virtually, but they still need to get fresh air outside.
Right now I feel like I need to get out a little bit for my emotional health.
Laura says she doesn't feel comfortable going out when other people don't wear masks.
It's kind of selfish. People think, well, they're taking my free agency, but they're really not. You're taking someone else's when you don't wear a mask.
Everything starts from one person. Every single person can make a difference with this virus. Just by wearing a mask, you could be saving a life.
Sam Walker, ATV News.
The CDC says that it's important to wear your mask in order to stop the spread.
A Cache County man in a position of trust is in jail and facing sexual assault charges. 60-year-old Lee Port is facing charges of 1 count of sexual abuse of a child and 1 count of forcible sexual abuse. A police report says the victims were 2 females, ages 13 and 18. Police enhanced charges due to Port's position of trust.
Logan police were called by McDonald's employees after suspecting a $100 bill of being fake. McDonald's employees say they were suspicious of Anna Martinez after receiving what seemed to be counterfeit bills. Police say they found Martinez with $421 worth of counterfeit bills. Martinez is on probation and is awaiting trial.
The president officially nominated Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. Barrett would be the only Supreme Court member who didn't attend Harvard or Yale. She would also be the 5th woman ever to serve as a Supreme Court justice. The confirmation hearing will begin October 12th. A Senate majority is required for her to be confirmed.
Semi-trucks crashed 2 days in a row this week in Rich County. Both trucks, tankers filled with gasoline.
We've had semi-accidents, but not back-to-back like this. And the same type of vehicle, fuel haulers.
On Thursday at 11, a tanker rolled a few miles from the Utah-Wyoming border. The next day, another tanker rolled in the canyon south of Bear Lake. Police blocked traffic for a few hours after each crash.
It's a little stressful, and traffic going down the highway, and people want to stop and look, and lots of people get out and want to come over and help, which is a good thing in a way, but then there's more people in danger.
The workers pumped out the gas using long gray hoses, and these yellow hoses from the fire trucks were in case anything lit on fire.
Firefighters first had to cut holes in the tankers, then they fed hoses through the holes. The gas that had already spilled out had to be cleaned up separately.
The other cleanup process is just digging it out of the dirt and making sure it's not here so that as rain and snow comes, as we head into winter, that it's not going to affect and get into the groundwater or drinking water for people around.
Sheriff Stacy says that cleanup should be done within the next few weeks.
Life Flight took the first driver. He was in critical condition. Medics took the second in an ambulance. He had non-life-threatening injuries.
Tattoo shops may have stereotypes about them, but a local Logan artist is determined to change that. Customers lined up to support Ink Against Cancer, a foundation that teams up with tattoo shops to help those suffering from cancer.
Whether that's cancer, suicide, LGBTQ issues, all of it, if I can provide that small level of comfort, that vulnerability, that empathy for you to help you make it through that next chapter in your life, then that's what I want to do. That's what I want to push for.
Kurtzuri says the event was a success and plans to hold more events in the future.
And after the break,
we go and help them and they come and help us.
Why fire crews around the valley train as one.
And in weather, Josh Davis will give you the 7-day forecast. The current temperature in Logan is 78 degrees.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it.
You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Hey? God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again. But an awkward silence can be a great thing. Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Battalion 70, Battalion 270, respond on a structure fire.
Firefighters from all over the county responded to this house. Thanks for staying with us. That was a training so multiple fire units can all be on the same page.
Lisa Feinstein shows you why crews say running drills together is so important.
Because I'm going to start. Whoever's here.
Firefighters from units all over the valley
It's Rescue 160 every time.
are all training to work as one.
What we're doing here tonight is called multi-company drills.
We're going to start tonight by breaking out into 5 groups.
Once a year they train, all using the same tactics and language.
The idea is that because on emergencies we're going to have to work together, it's important that we train together.
The last place you want to meet someone for the very first time is at 3 o'clock in the morning in the parking lot during an incident.
Developers say they're going to knock down these houses anyway. So firefighters say they're thankful to get some practice in on the real thing.
270, respond on a structure fire.
With something like this, we have a great experience to be able to make these drills as realistic as possible to really provide better training.
And it's not just firefighters that come train.
When you're just sitting behind the radio, you don't always know what's going on, but seeing it in person, you're like, oh, that makes so much more sense.
They train to save those in need and each other. This team stands by in case a firefighter inside needs help.
It's very important to us because we always want to take care of our own.
They have to stage the practice a few times because some of them are always out on the real thing.
We're happy with the turnout tonight. We're hoping we have the same turnout next week when we do it again.
Lisa Feinstein, ATV News.
The next training is scheduled for October 5th.
Welcome to ATV Weather. I'm Josh Davis. First, we're going to take a look here at the national graphic. As you can see, kind of in the middle here, we have a cold front coming in right around that Kansas-Missouri border. If you're a Chiefs fan, look out for that game. It'll starting to come in cold. It's starting to feel that fall weather, really starting to come away from summer. Up here in the Rust Belt, you can see that there's quite a bit of precipitation starting to flow through it. Right now it's just rain, but as we're starting to get closer, you know, people are starting to get a little worried about the snow. But for now, we stay at rain. As you get farther and farther to the East Coast, you can see that it's mostly clear as we go down. Down here along the Gulf Coast, you can see that they were just affected by Hurricane Sally. So they're starting to get sort of those little storms. It's starting to wear off. They're finally starting to get a break after all that suffering. So that's sort of what we got going on in the East Coast. Here in the West, you can see it's almost entirely clear. Got a little something going on here in Idaho, a little bit in Wyoming. California is actually where there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of fire warnings still. The air quality is very bad. There are air quality warnings as well as a red flag advisory warning. So if you're looking to travel in that area, be aware that there are still some air quality issues. If we take a look at the state graphic, you can see that again, it is clear skies. The whole state is doing pretty well on air quality too. That's a surprise for Utah. That fall weather is doing great. We're coming out of summer. It's not too hot, but it's not yet in that winter phase where you have to run and hide. The air quality is struggling as you get closer to that Colorado border. So the farther south you go, the farther east you go, you might want to watch out if you have any asthma or related air quality issues. Keep a lookout for that. But if you're in that central northern Utah area, you should be all right. Especially here in Logan, it's clear skies for days. We're going to have great weather as we go out. If you look at the weekly forecast, as you can see today, we have a high of 79 and a low of 37. And as you go out, it stays pretty steady. Lows around the 40s. The high for the week will be tomorrow here on Thursday at 80 degrees, then 76, 78, and 78 on through until you get to Tuesday, which you get 77, and that low stays pretty consistent. Tonight it'll be a little chillier than usual, but then it'll stay at about 39, gets up to 40, 39. So if you're out and about at night, you're going to want a jacket, but if you're out during the day, looks like you're going to be doing great. Take advantage. We're still in that fall weather. It's not too cold, not too hot. It's just right. So take advantage for the weather. That's all I got. Back to you, Rob.
Thanks, Josh. A local Aggie organized a 5K to help people get outside, but also to help children around the world. Runners ran and walked the Bonneville Shoreline Trail for 3.8 miles for the 5K. It cost $5 to participate, and the proceeds went to Operation Underground Railroad, an organization founded to prevent human and sex trafficking.
We don't understand how big sex and human trafficking is. It's happening all around us, and we don't see it.
Celine is accepting donations for Operation Underground Railroad until October 3rd.
We're a few weeks into the semester, but you might already be stressed. That's why CAPS had an event on Monday to help students chill out. Aggie's Stress Less on the Quad offered a few different ways for students to decompress, whether it was meditating in the sun or doing some chair yoga. This peer mentor says the event was vital.
The student reaction is actually super positive. It seems that people really felt like this event was necessary and needed, that they were missing out a little bit on having an event where they can de-stress.
To help students relax, CAPS handed out gifts like Play-Doh and hydration masks. They say they will have more events like this in the future, but virtually. If you need any type of mental health assistance, call the CAPS office to set up an appointment. And after the break.
I'm hoping to smash and just have a great time.
Why throw your old car in the trash when you can race it?
He'll take a three. LeBron James will hit a three.
In sports, LeBron James is back in the NBA Finals. Why this Miami All-Star isn't surprised.
Can you concern with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. Living seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Sombrero could be hitting shot play. This is for an NBA team. Welcome to ATV Sport. I'm Ting Yu Chen. Sombrero is on a list of prospects invited to the NBA Combine. ESPN NBA draft analyst Mike Schmidt described Mero as a smaller look Doncic. In his senior year, the 6'5" point guard averaged the 19.7 points per game and lead the Aggie to the conference championship. The NBA finals are set. The Los Angeles Lakers will be taking on the Miami Heat tonight at 7. This will be LeBron James' 10th time in the finals, and the Miami Heat knew they would be facing the Lakers.
If you want to win, you're going to have to go through a LeBron James-led team.
The Lakers will be trying to win their 17th championship, while the Heat are hoping to win their 4th. We are now into week 7 of Friday Night Lights. Ridgeline took on Logan High for the Battle of Cache Valley. Ridgeline scored first with this handoff to Jaden Harris for a 10-yard touchdown. The Riverhawks will force an early turnover with this interception by Evan Whips, which will set up Ridgeline for a field goal. Jaden Harris will score again on this 25-yard touchdown run. Then, before half, Kaden Kosk will drop back and find his wide receiver Shaq Simons wide open down the sideline for a touchdown. The Riverhawks will end up winning this game 52-22. Now, back to you. No, I'll catch up on ATV Sport. Back to you guys at the decks.
Thanks, Team U. From the turf to the mud, Josh Davis puts you in the driver's seat of Trash Car.
Crashing cars, revving engines, and yelling crowds. As the flag says, weekends are for trash cars.
To just have a good time and love it and enjoy it, this is my favorite thing to race.
Trash Car adds cages and plenty of decoration to old cars, preparing them for a race of collisions.
Everything plastic, glass, or anything that's going to fall off has to come out of the car. And you have to have a roll cage and you have to have bars along the driver's side door.
Racers say all of that safety is so that they can smash even harder. Racer Josh Stewart let me ride with him.
Just never let up off the gas pedal and hit everybody you can in sight. Run them off the road or spin them out. Yeah, usually the car brakes before we get to the end, so that's what stops it.
It's fun to go in and just smash people and just have a good time. Hey, you don't have to go in and win. It's fun to go in and smash.
Organizers say there are well over 50 cars registered, more than double the racing past years.
It's really exciting. It's fun to see the sport grow. It's fun to see the interest that some of these young people have. It's just a lot of fun.
No matter where you're from, we're glad to have you with us here for Trash Car.
Josh Davis, ATV News.
This was the final race of the year, but you can catch them again next June.
Tractors of different makes and models drove through Aggie Boulevard for Ag Week's annual tractor parade. Aggies and their families came up to see the show.
I come from the farming community, so it's like a little piece of home on campus. It's so nice.
The ag school says they're happy to show the community what makes them one of the top-ranked ag colleges. Pet adoptions are on the rise this year. Jonathan May shows why some people are in need of a furry friend.
Cats and dogs. The Cash Humane Society says more people are adopting furry friends during the pandemic.
We've seen our animals just fly. Their length of stay has decreased dramatically.
The Center for Disease Control says pets decrease feelings of loneliness and depression.
I think companionship is a big thing that animals provide. And we see that a lot. People are just looking for a companion.
The ASPCA says walking a dog is not only good for physical health, but mental health as well, which could benefit people during this pandemic.
It's really hard to remember to be happy and like even take care of yourself, especially when everything is so crazy, but like having a pet to take care of, to put your energy into, to spend time with, just makes the whole thing seem easier.
Oh, you can take a lap, buddy.
Jepsen recommends a pet to combat COVID-19 isolation.
They make you feel like you got a pal, someone that loves you, even if you might not remember it yourself.
You can adopt a cat up to $50, and dogs range from 100 to 250 bones. Jonathan May, ATV News.
The Cash Humane Society is open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays 12 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of ATV News. You can find this edition and more on our Facebook page.
We'll leave you with some shots of trash car racing.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Sorry. I've got big ideas.
As a college student, you have big ideas to make a big difference on campus. Why not get funding for those ideas in a big way? The Blue Goes Green Grant provides funding for student sustainability projects. These projects help USU students be more environmentally responsible, live healthier, and save money. To find out more, go to usu.edu/BGG. Get funding for your Blue Goes Green idea in a big way. Blue Goes Green. Make a difference.
I tried Oxy at a couple of parties. I thought I had it under control. I didn't know it'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
It's a big responsibility.
Oh, it's huge. I know, it's huge.
And the salary.
Oh my god, yes. I mean,
Right.
like, I was about to move in with my parents, and right before, yeah, so this saved me.
I really believe in you, you know?
Thank you. It's nice to hear that from someone.
These are cool. Did you, what did